my goodness. Hello, stranger.
Holy cow. Is it live and in person?
I haven't seen you in, I don't even know how long.
I feel like it's been a month.
It probably has.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Hi guys. Welcome back. So quite the hiatus that we didn't intend. So let's see. Let's recount what happened. Well, I was going on a work trip that turned out to be way more intense than I anticipated, but it's all good. But at that very same time, you were having heart surgery.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about a heart surgery? You look like you've lost like 15 pounds too.
I didn't weigh myself today, but I lost 9 pounds in 3 days.
Okay, well, we're not there yet. We're still in your heart surgery.
Oh, right.
On that, the rapid weight loss.
I'm looking at me and I'm like, oh my gosh, you look awful.
You don't look so awful.
Oh my god. Okay,
heart surgery.
Well, it was a minor procedure, I guess you could say. I went to Hopkins and I was
minor,
born...
just getting an electrical device implanted in your heart.
I was born with a heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and as you get older, the disease kind of progresses. And so my doctors found...
Can you inform the listeners what that means, just briefly?
So, yeah. So basically, if you've ever heard a lot of the athletes that, not to scare anyone, but that drop dead out of nowhere, a lot of them have this condition. And it's where my left ventricle is enlarged. So basically, it just kind of gets more enlarged and signals are harder to pass through as you get older. So I had an MRI done a few years ago and a couple of years ago. And then my doctors were like, well, it's time to get a defibrillator in case anything happens. So I had a defibrillator installed like it's like some sort of software, which it kind of is actually. I'm like a robot now. And I'm one of, I think the technology I have is like 10 years old. And I think there's like only 100,000 people in the world that have it. So it's a subcutaneous device. It's on my left side. It's not like actually in my heart. So
what happens with when your heart, like without being defibrillated and all this stuff, like your ER visits and stuff, like open left ventricle means what? Like your heart goes faster? So faster, pitter patter? Like what happens?
Yeah, it depends. Like, well, I had AFib recently, and that could be a sign of it as well. But everybody's different. So there's no like one size fits all for the condition. But theoretically, the risk is that my heart could just go into really, really fast rate and then stop and go into cardiac arrest. Because the signals aren't going from basically, they're not going from one part of the heart to the other. They're getting of misfiring and so also blood flow gets changed. Yeah. So everyone is different, but
you got this thing implanted. I just wanted to make sure we had a base going forward, establishing the foundation, as it were. Can you tell I've been in court for like 2 weeks?
Right. And I'm like, my brain isn't functioning correctly right now.
And I'm just like automatically going into like, can you explain to the court what it means to have heart fibrillation thing?
I'm like, I haven't eaten in 5 days. I'm like,
we haven't even gotten to the shitting yourself part. Like we're still in the heart surgery. You had this device implanted to help your signals of your heart, right?
So it doesn't help the signals. It literally it's on my side. The leads go in my sternum near my heart. So it's not invasive. And the reason why I got that one instead of like a regular defibrillator that goes near your heart is because that goes into your veins and your blood vessels. And that over time can deteriorate and cause complications, infections. And I'm just young. So I wanted to save my vessels for when I'm older. So this device goes near my heart. So it gets on my side and then the leads go near my heart. And they put you under. They test it. So they make your heart go into VTAC. I don't know how they do that. So your heart's all crazy. And then they use the device to shock you. Well, they tried it on me. It didn't work. So they had to cardiovert me in surgery, which means externally they had to defibrillate me. Then they had to cut me back open, move some stuff around, and do the same thing again. So I was shocked twice under.
This sounds horrifying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember it. And
yeah, I know. Well, okay, let me back up a little bit. So again, courtroom presentation here. Let me back up in your like you said you went into AFib recently, and I remember we had we were recording around that after that or whatever, and we talked about it briefly because you had to go to the ER. And they put you under with like propofol or something, and they shock you back, and you come back. And the reason why I remember distinctly having this episode was because I had just was watching the live version of Smartless, the podcast, and Sean Hayes has the same thing, and he was on the episode I had just watched that day, was exactly talking about the exact same thing. Oh yeah, I had to go to Cedars-Sinai and get propofol and shock back, and I'm like, oh my god, let's get the hospital getting that done right now.
Yep.
So I remember that incident, and so now moving forward, so now you have this thing that's supposed to do that for you. Like
no, so it's so weird. It's so strange. If I go into AFib, it won't shock me. It's only going to be if they like certain hearts. I don't know the science behind it, to be honest, like the exact science, but I was told, if I go into AFib, it probably won't shock me, that I'll still have to go to the hospital. But it's more just like cardiac arrest. And if my heart rate now, see, here's the thing too, the doctors prescribe, or they are able to set the settings on it. So my cardiologist, well, he's an electrophysicist, I don't even know what you want to call it. Whatever, the heart
fancy heart doctor,
and he's hot too. Anyways, he programs it, so he set it to my heart rate. It'll shock me if my heart rate gets up to 220.
Okay, so it's like a sensitivity setting he can dial up or down.
Yes. So he can control the settings. But the problem was with this device 10 years ago, I was talking, it's a Boston Scientific is the brand.
Company.
Yeah, the company. And I was talking to the representative, because when you go in for surgery, you meet with him, the representative, and he tests it before you even go under the knife. He like hooks you up to some leads and makes sure your body can register the signals, I guess. So he does that. And I was asked, he's like, do you have any questions? I was like, well, I'm in this Facebook support group and I'm really scared of inappropriate shocks. What's I've done my own research, but what can you tell me about the shock rate? He said when they first came out with the device and the FDA approved it, I think the inappropriate shock rate was like a 6%. And now it's down to a 2%.
Like very innocuous, almost appropriate,
right. So now it's
inappropriate shocking in the courtroom. Like,
right.
But like, it's like shocking your heart when you don't need it to be shocked.
Exactly.
Oh God. Okay.
And now it's down to a 2% inappropriate shock rate. And so that's a little terrifying, but my condition isn't advanced enough to where I think I'll need it, but it's there just in case. I mean, it wasn't something I had to do. It was advised by my team of doctors that if it were them, they would get it, but I'm borderline on needing it. But I have a daughter, I'm a single mom. I can't just, I've got to take all precautions. And so that's why I did it.
I remember talking to you about this when you made the decision you were making the decision to do it. And you're like, if it was just me, I don't know that I would do it. But because I have Kaya, like I need to be around for her. So I'll take the precaution. I just thought that was like, especially, I mean, you're a medical provider of your own, in your own right, just interest. It was just an interesting perspective on it for me.
Yeah, definitely. But I wasn't expecting in recovery. I thought that my side would hurt. I mean, the defibrillator is huge. It's the size of a hockey puck, pretty much. I was expecting my left side to hurt, but really my chest hurt a lot. That was where the pain was.
Oh.
But now I'm doing great. And I think that getting
How many days post-op are you now? How long have you had it in?
I am 14. Today is 14 days post-op. Okay. And I feel great. I can wear regular bras. There are some people in my group that have it in different locations, which is really strange. Some of it like right under the armpit. I have it a little bit lower and more posterior. So more towards my back. But I advised my doctor before my concerns going into it. I said, I have a large chest, so I'm really worried about my bras and that, rubbing against my bras and things like that. So I'm going to follow up with him and ask him why he chose the location. I also said I wanted a breast reduction. So I think that
I was going to say, is this an opportunity? Can you parlay this with your insurance or whatever to try to do a medical need breast reduction?
Yeah. So I can still do all of that, but he put it in the perfect spot. The scar is pretty small. all things considered. And I'm doing great with that. So
Okay.
no inappropriate shocks yet. But,
That's gonna be the greatest line ever.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Lexi, you've been inappropriately shocked today.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Crazy.
so this is all happening. I'm out of town doing my thing. You're
You're
doing
being a
that,
big
but,
time
like,
lawyer, big time
yeah,
lawyering.
whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're doing those things that just happen to be right at the exact same time. I came back into town. You were, recovered from surgery. You're like, I have nothing to do but watch TV. Like, I can't do a lot of stuff. And then, so we're like, okay, let's go record. And
Yes.
like half an hour before we were recording, you're like, I can't stop shitting myself.
So no, you got back on
So-
Saturday. Sunday, we were both, getting back to our lives, right?
Trying to reset ourselves. Yeah.
Right. And we were going to watch Sister Wives. We were planning on recording the next couple of days. I wake up Monday morning at 6:30 in the morning, pooping, like really diarrhea, like crazy pooping. And I was like, oh, I must have just eaten something because I felt fine Monday morning, right? I was fine except for the pooping. I went to work. I just figured I ate something bad. I wasn't sitting right. But then it just didn't stop. And then it just got worse. So I left work Monday and I obviously called out of work. I canceled my patients. My office manager dropped off Imodium. I couldn't leave the house Tuesday. And that went on
You could
until
not leave the bathroom.
No,
That's why we couldn't record Monday. Was like you were like, I can't even be away from the bathroom.
No.
I'm like, we can't record in between you, like while you're sitting on the toilet, literally.
No, and not to be graphic, but I need people to know that, like, take care of yourselves. And it was just, if you've ever had a colonoscopy, and I know a lot of people listening to this probably have. I've had one colonoscopy in my life.
I've had several.
Okay, so when you drink that prep, right? And you got to be close to the bathroom when you drink the prep because you have no control sometimes. Like, I mean, I remember, like literally running to the bathroom. So that was exactly like the colonoscopy prep, except for rather than being 12 hours, I can't remember how long it is before you do it. Anyways.
Yeah, the different protocols, whatever.
Yeah, different protocols. Let's say less than a day for you prepping for that for sure. Mine lasted 4 days. Well, 3.5 days. So I almost went to the ER because I had lost so much fluids, and dehydration is one of the biggest concerns in my heart condition.
Well, I think that's, I mean, I was going to say, I think dehydration is the big concern with any of this, right? But particularly in your situation, also at the time you were like 10 days out from heart surgery, like your body is just completely not at a optimal place to fight anything.
Right. And I'm wondering if my immune system was just weaker because Kaya never got it. Nobody around me had it. So I'm assuming that I just was in a weird, just a lowered immune system. I don't know. But I had to be near the bathroom every 15 to 30 minutes on Tuesday. I was going, and Imodium slowed it down to like every hour for a little while. But it was just like the worst and grossest thing I think I've had in years. I don't remember ever being that sick. And so I'm still recovering. Today it's been 24 hours since I've had that happen. A little over 24 hours. So I'm just trying to catch up on my hydration and slowly start eating foods again. So I apologize. My brain is not where it was. It's a little bit I'm a little depleted, and like I said, I lost, at least as of yesterday, I lost 9 pounds in 3 days.
Your face just looks like, whew. I mean, that's all I'm seeing right now, obviously. I mean, I'll see you later this week for acupuncture, but so the whole thing about this, I think, is fascinating because, I at least always talk about your sort of your empathic ability with your patients, right? Like you feel like some of the same pains and things like that. Now, before I went on this work stuff, I mean, I was seeing you regularly. I have my herbs, everything. I have been pooping like a normal person.
Yay!
Right? Like I like, so my issue, we've talked about this somewhat, is that because of my MS and some variety of other factors, I don't poop generally. So I go once like every 2 weeks, and that's with like help of stuff. And I'm being followed by, I have gastroenterologist team. I have a whole thing. It's everybody is like, oh, have you tried Taco Bell? Yes.
Have you tried Taco Bell?
Trust me. I'm okay. I've had my most recent colonoscopy was in the last year because of this. Okay. So that memory is fresh. So that's one of my issues. And when I started seeing you on a regular basis, that went with everything else, all my other whatever symptoms and how your Eastern medicine stuff works, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense. And so the things that you're treating me for, help me overall, right? Well, I didn't. I mean, I haven't seen you. I haven't gotten treated in like, a month practically. And because my travel schedule and everything else has been so weird, I haven't been taking my herbs regularly and everything. So basically, I've stopped pooping. So before all, when I was seeing you regularly and I'm here and just normal life, you had me pooping like a regular person. But then all this travel and everything else and all of
stress.
Stuff,
I mean, you've been under a lot of stress.
well, yeah, I mean, busy. Yeah, it's been nuts.
Yeah.
And it's not over. So I am doing more. There's more travel coming up, but it's not anyway. It doesn't matter. But like, yeah. So I sort of stopped pooping, and then during that same time, you have gone completely the other way. And
right. And I didn't even give myself Chinese herbs because I was like, the first day I was like, oh, this is just a fluke, right? And then I'm like, okay, norovirus, maybe 2 days tops. No. And then it just kept going on. I'm like, by the time I get my herbs in on Thanksgiving, like the holiday, I'm like, it's not even going to come in. I'm going to be done by the time I can get a hold of anything. But oh my God. I'm just not trying to get into too much detail, but holy crap.
So it's been, I mean, to be so bad where and the reason we're talking about it is because, it is, like you said, it's important to take care of yourselves. This time of year, you're a single working mom, right? And you work like 3 jobs and you have a dog and you have a 2-year-old and, all of this stuff. And, or she almost 3 now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ almighty. She's almost 3.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah. My kid's about to turn 20. Yeah, like next week, like in 2 weeks from now. Yeah. And so, and he's been here. So that's been fun.
Yay.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. All the Thanksgiving stuff has been happening too. Anyway, I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, take care of yourselves, people. Like single moms, this time of year, especially the stress and everything, like everything will get itself worked out, you guys.
Right.
There's no turkey, if there's no tofurkey, whatever, if there's no green bean casserole, if there's not, for whatever holidays or celebrations you have planned, take care of yourself. Because if you turn into what happened with Lexi between your heart and, that you're doing so that you could take care of your daughter. And then, I mean, not that it was your fault for getting whatever thing,
right.
But the importance of taking care of yourselves, you guys, and leaning on your friends and your support systems has been incredibly important for me as well. So
definitely.
But who doesn't have a support system?
Who?
Kody. His support system's leaving him. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and we're going to get into catching up on all the sister wives stuff. We'll be right back.
Hey, Fraudcasters. If you're racking your brain trying to think of the right present for someone, you're never going to go wrong with gifting the most comfortable sheets, clothing, and accessories that your friends and family have ever felt. I'm talking about Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth is the brand that has been featured on Oprah's Favorite Things 5 years in a row. And it's important to note that each year she featured a different product, whether it was the waffle bath towel bundle, the bamboo jogger pant, or their best-selling bamboo sheet set. These are made from viscose from bamboo. They're temperature regulating and they only get softer with every wash. All Cozy Earth products can be returned or exchanged within 100 days and include an additional 10-year warranty against defects. Can you just think of all of the people on your list that would love to receive Cozy Earth on a gift, which is pretty much, I don't know, everybody? Who doesn't want the most comfortable set of sheets ever? Whether it's the best-selling sheets, their life-changing luxury pajamas, ultra-comfortable joggers, plush lounge socks, which honestly for me, you could never go wrong with those, or their premium bath towel collection, you will love shopping and gift giving at Cozy Earth. And here's our gift to you this holiday season. Go to CozyEarth.com and enter code FRAUDCAST to save up to 40%. That's CozyEarth.com with code FRAUDCAST. CozyEarth.com. Hey, Fraudcasters. I love the holidays, but shopping is always a daunting task, especially right now when life is so lifey and crazy busy and the kids' schedules are all over the place. So I was so excited when Skims announced its biggest holiday gift shop ever. This shop is going to make all my holiday shopping so easy this year, and I might get a little something for myself while I'm at it. You will find the perfect present for everyone on your list in the Skims holiday gift shop. Sisters, moms, dads, boyfriends, husbands, best friends, wives, even your pets, y'all. Skims is creating the next generation of underwear, loungewear, and shapewear. The soft lounge sleep set two-piece pajamas in smoke sparkle print. Oh my God, these are amazing. And they come in these perfect little gift boxes ready to send. And I might pick up a set of my favorite, the cotton jersey boy short 5-pack with matching scoop bralette packs. Those are the most comfortable, and also those come in great little gift boxes ready to send too. Your favorite Skims staples like Fits Everybody Cotton, Soft Lounge, and Sleep are now available in cheerful colors and festive prints. Plus, Skims' signature holiday collections are back for the season and designed for the whole family. You've never been this cozy at home for the holidays. Collections are available in sizes double extra small to 4X for women, and unisex styles start at newborn sizing for children's styles. Skims makes holiday shopping so easy. With styles for everyone in the family, Skims Holiday Gift Shop is the destination for all of your gifting needs. Believe the hype. Skims has over 100,000 5-star reviews, and for a reason. Skims Holiday Gift Shop is now open at skims.com. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $75. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show, The Fraudcast, in the drop-down menu that follows. Hey, Fraudcasters. With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. School's back in session, you're running around all over the place. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Relish the best of autumn with fall flavors. They're limited time only hearty comfort meals featuring seasonal veggies, meals like cranberry pecan chicken and apple Dijon pork chops, which, by the way, I just had for dinner tonight. Fantastic. Ready in just 2 minutes, they'll satisfy your fall cravings during the busy season without the hassle. You can even level up with gourmet plus options prepared to perfection by chefs ready to eat in record time. Treat yourself to the upscale meals with premium ingredients like broccolini, leeks, truffle butter, and asparagus. Head to factormeals.com/fraudcast50 and use code fraudcast50 to get 50% off. That's fraudcast50 at factormeals.com/fraudcast50 to get 50% off.
All right, and we're back. So today is the day after Thanksgiving. Some of us are fat and happy. Others are not.
Others are starving and deprived.
And
I actually didn't go to my Thanksgiving because I didn't want to, I'm pretty sure it was norovirus, based on what my doctor said. And I didn't want to infect anyone, even though I was symptom free as of yesterday at like 10 in the morning. I just felt that it was best to not go and potentially, spread it. So
Yeah.
I hope you had a good.
I did. I got back into town over the weekend and then on Saturday, and then on Sunday, my mother-in-law flew in from North Carolina, and Sunday also my kid and his girlfriend came back up from college, so they're here. And of course my stepdaughter's here too. So we had all
The gang's all here.
The gang's all here. And then we went over to my son's girlfriend's family. Like we did a joint Thanksgiving with their side, which we've done joint, holidays together because we're basically family, right? So we did all that yesterday. And then we're watching Squid Game, the Squid Games on Netflix, the reality TV like show version. And that's been funny. And then we took mother-in-law to the airport this morning. So, and the kids are here through the weekend. So that'll be good.
Nice. How was Squid Games, by the way, the reality one? I've been wanting to see it. I didn't know it
watched
came
the
out.
original Squid Games,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
it's we enjoy it. We really like it. We would. I mean, it was we got through like 3 episodes last night because it's like you want to see what happens next. And obviously, they don't actually kill people, but I think it's well done. And
so it's like the last man standing, man or woman. Is that how they're?
Yeah, it's all the same.
Okay.
All the same things, except instead of actually killing you, they just like eliminate you. But
that's cool.
There's some other twists and stuff. It's interesting. It's good. It's good. I think for reality TV show, competition show, and trust me, we've watched all of them. It's well done. It's well done. So I would say watch it. I mean, after you're done watching Sister Wives, because we're gonna we had to check and see where we were at with the episodes. So this episode is going to be episodes 11 and 12. The next episode is going to be episodes 13 and 14. And then that will catch us up to right before where we're at with the tell-all. And we're going to get all those out to you today. So without further ado, where were we? Let's catch up of where we were last left, where Kody and the Browns last left us.
Yes. So we are on episode 11, season 18, airing the dirty laundry. Previously, Kody and Janelle eat at the famous Mexican restaurant. And Janelle tells him she wants to stay separated. And then we see her saying there's no communication between them and he's not actively trying to fix the marriage. And then we see Janelle and Christine sit down talking, and Janelle tells Christine she would consider plural marriage again, to which Christine looked very surprised. That was kind of where we left off from the previous episode. And bringing it on into this episode.
So wait, episode 11. What's the name of this episode again?
Airing the dirty laundry.
Okay, so this is airing the dirty laundry. So we're just, going where we're at in chronological order here.
Yes. All right. So Christine said that it would be so easy for Kody to fix his relationship with Janelle, but it would be harder for him to fix the relationship with the kids, and that Janelle's situation is harder than hers. And that's just Christine being interviewed, which I agree. We kind of talked about that in the past. Why? Because Christine said she was used to being alone and that he didn't spend as much time with her and her children. So they were kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Sad.
Like because they had different kind of relationships, Janelle always being a little bit more independent and stuff. And I think she describes it in one of these episodes as friends with benefits, which is so funny coming from Janelle because she doesn't ever talk in those kinds of terminologies. And so, but that's like,
have you noticed have you noticed like a change in Janelle? Like she's become a lot more, I don't want to say relaxed, but a lot more open, I guess.
Yes. The divorce diet. Like when you start realizing you're like, oh, I'm better than this. Oh, I can do this. I can do that. Oh, highly recommend. Oh, okay. Oh, I can do this.
For the longest time, she was so closed off and not wanting to talk about certain private issues. And I feel like now she's
still not going to talk about boning Kody, but
I wouldn't want to talk about it either. Oh,
right. But
oh God.
Her saying friends with benefits was like, I think as close as she came to saying sex. I was like, oh, that's a little forward for Janelle.
I know, right? Well, then we see Mykelti and Tony there with Christine and Isabel, and they reveal that Mykelti is pregnant. They also reveal for the first time to Christine that Mykelti is having twins. Or Mykelti and Tony are having twins, as she shows her the sonogram. And so Christine's so excited. She says she already loves them.
Yes. She just lives for grandbabies at that time. So
they all wanted to be grandmas to numerous children. So twins, yay. All right. Well, the doctor so Mykelti's talking about her pregnancy and how she's always hungry and she's feeding 3 humans. And Christine jokes saying she's going to be huge with twins. The doctor wanted to they talk about the actual appointment that I guess Tony wasn't at because she said the doctor wanted to get a second opinion
on the twins.
Yeah. And so she came home and told Tony they're 2 blobs, and he didn't really get that, didn't understand, wasn't. Yeah.
And so is this when are they talking here about the you're not supposed to get pregnant while you're breastfeeding, which guys, I don't know why this old wives' tale still persists. You can get
doctor
pregnant.
said that.
You can
how crazy is that though?
That's not true though.
I know, right?
Not true. So they're gonna end up with 3 kids under 3.
What is it when you're Irish twins? Is that when you're under a year?
Irish
Like you're back
twins
to back?
are under a year apart.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways.
They're born within the same 12 months.
That just goes to show that if your milk's in, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter.
Yeah. And so then Kody goes on to say in his interview, we don't really have twins that I know of in my family history. And that's probably Tony's side of the family. Come to find out later on, which I'll talk about, Christine talks about that there actually are twins in both sides of their families. Yeah. But Cody's just dumb and can't even remember that he has twin nieces. So there's that. Oh my God.
Oh, Kody.
Well, Christine does go on to say that she thinks that they're going to be great with twins and talks about how when Gwen was little and Janelle had Gabe and she had Gwen and they were 4 days apart. And as we know, Christine watched the kids while Janelle worked. So Christine said she basically raised twins. I mean, she had 2 babies within 4 days apart. And she said they'll figure it out and they'll be fine. And this is so true because parents just figure it out. Like
you do just figure it out. Guess what?
Right. People are like, how did you have a C-section as a single mom? I'm like, you just figure it out. Like,
right.
You just have to. Like you just
same. I mean, I wasn't a single mom, but baby daddy was
deployed.
Yeah, that. So I was at my mom's, the hospital my mom worked at, which if your mom's a nurse, y'all know what kind of crazy control freaks they are. Imagine their little baby girl is in the hospital and my mom's like going down the hall, like getting the sheets and changing like she's doing all the things,
Oh yeah.
Oh mom. Anyway.
Oh. Well, then we see Meri at the B&B. Oh, Meri. Okay. I don't even want to. Can we just like skip Meri's parts? I'm just kidding. Okay. So she said that it was her and Kody's 32nd anniversary. And that in the past few years when they've gone out for their anniversary, but they felt like it was like obligatory.
So yeah, they dragged this confessional she does here, this like red maroon shirt, whatever confessional. They dragged this thing out for like all 4 episodes that we're about to cover. Like this thing's insane.
Yep.
And it's this confessional that I was trying to mimic when I was trying to do my angry Meri faces that I sent you.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they keep bringing it back to, they ask her the same questions and she's answering it differently because in the next episode too, they go back to it, but it's a different wordage. I'm like, all right, I get we were doing production, but like, we don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get to what is she get with the leaving or she not leaving?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Which we've come to find out that they agreed privately a while back to separate, but they now the public, but we'll get that in season or episode 14, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, so this year she said she had called him and said happy anniversary because he never called or texted her. Yeah. So she said, hey, would you like to go out on, a drive or to dinner? And his response was, I'm watching the kids. Let me check with Robin. And then
he was just buying time here to, Robin, what should I do? What should I do? Meri's calling. And of course, Robin's like, go.
Right. And Kody says in his interview, when Meri called me and asked me if we were going to do anything for her ... our anniversary, I just said, I'm watching the kids and I needed a minute to think and a reason to be able to say no in the event I thought it was the right thing to do. Okay. He's having slip-ups even in his, interviews.
They're not even slip-ups anymore. Like that's just saying those parts out loud. He's not trying to hide them anymore.
You're right. Well, then he called her back and took her out to dinner. I guess he figured that was the right thing to do, but we all know it wasn't.
Robin was like, Robin pushed him to do that.
Of course. And this dinner that they had was not filmed. So we hear Mary's side of the story, which I actually believe her. She said that he made a reference to faking relationships and then kind of pointing back and forth between the two of them. So Meri asked, "What do you mean?" And he's gesturing with his fingers, like faking between us. And she said, I'm not faking anything, is what Meri said. And then he said, "I don't know why you bothered to call me, and that we're not married. I mean, we aren't living as a married couple." So there's another slip up that you said isn't going to slip up.
Yup.
So Meri knew. He stopped himself from saying we aren't married. So this mother effer can't break up with her. He has to do everything except actually break up with her. Not only that,
trying to ghost his own wife.
Exactly. And not only that, he's like
who he lives with. Like sort of.
It's like the audacity. What a freaking
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like I want to call him like a pussy, but actual pussies are pretty strong. Like we give birth and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it would be an insult. It's
to
an
women.
Absolute insult to pussies to call
exactly.
Anyone.
I'm trying to think of
beta male. He's just a
he's an incel. He's just like
an insult I learned yesterday. He should just drink wet cement. I was like, dang, that's a subtly violent if you think about that. So
I feel like he needs like the snip. Like I don't want the risk of him procreating anymore. Like this man should not be able to have more children. He is, anyways. Yeah. Oh, so then Kody said around him and Meri's 25th anniversary, they did counseling and that they tried to work it out, but they were angry at one another. It wasn't working out. And he believed because of his other wives and through counseling that it was the right thing to do to try to fix the relationship. But he felt like he had to give up. I feel like he didn't express that he had to give up to anyone. He just kind of felt it and, like you said, ghosted Meri.
It's just like it feels like you have to fix it, but you're not doing anything to fix it, and you don't want to fix it, but you want her to stay around because you want her income streams. So how do you balance that careful need to your own ego stroking and money, but also having this pesky Meri around that you can want to put in the barn dominium? Like, how do you balance?
Right. How much income is she really bringing into the family?
Whatever she's getting from filming.
And then her quote side business.
That it's an insult to business to call that. And we'll talk about that as we get into to her renovation of the carriage house.
Yeah. So Meri goes on to explain during that tumultuous time or whatever, that my word, not hers, the time where they were fighting, that she asked him to take a break. And of course, him being the narcissistic piece of shit that he is, took that break and ran with it and basically said that she kicked him out, yada, yada. So twisting what she said just to make it fit his narrative, because she was like, I never kicked him out. I never told him I never wanted to be with him. I just needed a break.
And
and he used that.
Yeah, I believe Meri's version of events there.
Definitely.
She's, crazy in her own right. But Kody is not reliable in he can't remember a conversation that occurred 20 minutes ago. He contradicts himself in the same episode. Yep. So, I don't trust anything that comes out of his mouth as far as recounting the actual version of events that happened. So, yeah.
I agree.
Meri on this one.
So then Meri goes on to say what Kody said off camera. She said that he said, I have no desire, Meri, to have a relationship with you. Don't you understand, Meri? This is never going to happen. Your life is one I don't want to insert myself into.
Can you
ouch?
Ouch.
Jesus. This is your quote wife of 32 years or whatever?
Right? I don't want to insert myself into your life. Okay, first of all, it was our life.
Right.
You removed yourself. And that's okay.
And she said that was painful. It was the first time she heard him say that. And her response was, but you promised.
Yeah.
I like my heart. I did. Okay. I did
felt
feel for Meri in that moment.
Is that your new did you watch this before you got your heart implant device?
I did, but I wasn't really, I mean, I didn't take notes on it. I did, you know what I mean? I wasn't paying
I'm just wondering if
attention.
your heart implant gave you some heart that you didn't have before. I don't know. Like, did it open up? Did it inappropriately shock you when Meri
No.
when you felt pangs for Meri? Like, what is happening?
I don't know. I don't know. But funny enough, I did go back to work after I had my implant, and I shocked every single one of my patients while touching the needles. Gentle shock, like not like painful, but and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm like,
electromagnetic now.
It is, right? I touched the needle.
will
I was
be
like,
interested
ow.
to see how this is going to translate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They didn't even feel it. I felt it when I touched the needle. So taking it out, super crazy. But yeah, so Meri,
I'm so glad I'm scheduled to see you next week because
me too. I miss you.
I need another tune up. I need tune up in between these work trips.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other stuff too, all the clearing of all I need a clearing.
I hear you.
Good exorcism clearing.
Oh, I love it. Then we're back to Mykelti with Christine and the family. And she's explaining the pregnancy and what her plan for delivery is. And she's saying that the midwives won't deliver the twins. They want a doctor present because it's just too high risk.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony was concerned about it as well. He did not like the home birth that they had. It was just too much on him.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out that Mykelti is using Dr. Bean, who is the doctor who Christine used to deliver Truly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was exciting I don't know, for them.
Yeah, it's interesting because they, pull out this lore, quote unquote lore. Sorry, I have a 14-year-old girl gamer in the house. It's everything lore with her. With the polygamous families, and they explain this, right, is that like they're generally scared of hospitals, right? Like they don't want people coming into their lives. They don't want government intrusion because they're living illegally or whatever. All these various reasons. And then they go through and the different wives, right, and talking about, oh, I had this one at home, this one, in the hospital, whatever works. And I love how Christine here is just like whatever makes them happy. Like how she's just so like, I like home births. They are not going to have a home birth right now. Like there's no need for her to get all her panties in a wad over it.
Mm-hmm.
And like how they had told Robin first about the twins. Robin was all, like, I guess they told me first. And Christine's like, okay, there's going to be some things. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Like,
right.
Here's the difference. Anyway. Yeah. So this whole thing about not wanting home births versus hospital births and things like that, which I thought, is always interesting.
I've had a lot of friends who have had home births. And
because you work in a woo-woo.
Yeah. But they also don't have high, obviously, like I could never do a home birth and certain people can't because just, the risk factors are too high. But everyone that's had it that I know said how amazing it was. Good for them.
Yeah, good on them. Okay.
My God, I couldn't do it, but good for them.
That's why there's choices. Everybody.
Right. I was like, it was crazy because they were showing the flashback of Christine having Truly in the hospital. And Christine said that she was 38 when she had Truly. Mm-hmm. And, I've been watching this show for so long and I'm 38 now. And I'm like, oh my God, that means I'm going to be Christine's age in, 50. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just like, time is going by so fast. And I can't believe I'm the same age as Christine when she had Truly. Holy crap.
Yeah. But you're also only 38 and I'm 48 or 49 or whatever. I did this the other day too. I was having
You're 49 because I thought you were turning 50. Remember?
Right. Okay.
No. That's next year.
74. October 74. I can't math. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could not imagine. No.
We see different flashbacks of all the women giving birth, and it kind of it got me emotional, I must say. We see Robin giving birth to Solomon, and Kody's dumbass says he looks like my little boys. Well, like, no shit, he is your little boy.
Your little boy. You are the father. You are the father.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And then we hear Maddie. Remember, Maddie's birth was like traumatic because she was in labor for like 2 days, wasn't she, or something crazy? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my gosh, all the families having babies. Babies.
You want another one? You want another Kaya?
Oh no. Nope. Then we mentioned already about the polygamous culture and the fear. And Janelle says that her and Christine share different perspectives on the birth because Janelle did not grow up in the faith. So Kody was on all of her kids' birth certificates.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Kody was not on Christine's kids' birth certificates.
Well, I don't know if they said that or if they're just implying that because some polygamist families don't put the father on because they don't on the birth certificate because they don't want to get the government involved in whether he's a polygamist and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember them saying specifically if he was or wasn't on Christine's.
I think Christine said that they weren't.
I mean, so yeah. But I think that points out the interesting sort of differences, right? Janelle, not raised in the faith, not scared of the hospitals and this and that. Oh yeah, I went to the hospital, had a birth. Kody's whatever. Like this is versus those who are like raised in the faith. And they talk about this in another episode, which is just a rehash of earlier storylines about their doomsday prepping food tendencies.
Yep. Well, then we see Kody and Robin having a family dinner, a birthday dinner with Truly and Isabel, because Truly is turning 12. And Robin's like, I miss this, and I want all the kids to feel comfortable in the home. And I'm like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah.
And then Robin, making it about herself again, says that she truly doesn't have any memories without her and her kids. And that's so sweet and cool. What? Who says that?
Well, because Truly was being born right when Robin was coming into the family. So she doesn't have, Truly's just always been a part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's how childbirth works. Like, I'm not sure what point she was trying to make. Like,
I don't know.
I just referring back to when she gave Kody like these Photoshop pictures with her kids in the family. Real thing that happened. I'll have to find it.
That was it. The big framed pictures.
There's something. I don't know. It's in my brain scramble somewhere.
Yeah,
with turkey and pumpkin pie and all that other stuff that's up there.
Well, Isabel's there. She looks uncomfortable, and Kody says that she does look uncomfortable most of the time, and that the relationship has never been solid. Well, no shit. You didn't go to her surgery, and you've never been there for her. So
yeah, your relationship with Kody. Yeah, Kody. Jesus.
Do you know what somebody on the internet pointed out? I don't remember if you and I talked about it. Everything is a blur the past month, but somebody pointed out that Kody and Robin were wearing like Rolex watches. Have you seen that?
I didn't see the Rolex watch one, but I've seen similar things, specifically with reference to their house, right? So Robin, they own this McMansion, but they also own the property next door. So just a huge piece of property, and it's not far from the Coyote Pass land, and so it's like no wonder they need all these ATVs and 4-wheelers and all these.
Yeah,
they have all that place to play, which
So people are like, oh, they can't pay off the land, but they have enough money for ATVs, Rolex watches, whatever else. It just doesn't make sense,
right?
Anyways, I'm getting a little off track, but we digress. So I noticed too, when they're all in the kitchen, did you see the big picture of Jesus in Kody and Robin's kitchen? So I saw Katrina.
I'm acting out the pose that you see, the Jesus picture you see in every Mormon household.
I was just surprised that it wasn't a picture of like a big ass picture of Kody, like with like the robes on, all bow down to me, like instead of.
I bet AI could do that for us.
Oh, do you have like any?
I don't know, but I have teenagers.
I
have teenagers downstairs. They might be able to help me.
That's good. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So Kody starts talking about the failures in the polygamous marriages, and I thought for a second that he was gonna man up and own up to something, because he
You
was like,
always do this. You
right.
always do this.
I give him the benefit of the doubt every single time. And he's like, I wonder if some of the failures were due to the family dynamics, and maybe, if they would have grown up in different homes and been more like cousins instead of siblings, things would have been different. So it's like, well, that took a turn. Like not my fault.
I was hoping.
Right. Yeah. And did you remember the flashback too? We hear the wives saying their family's mission statement, which I've never heard a family have a mission statement before.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
That was so funny. That flashback. So yeah, they flash back to the time when they were in Flagstaff or Vegas or wherever, and they had this recommitment ceremony and all this stupid bullshit stuff where they created the family mission statement and like wrote it on bricks and I don't know. It was stupid. I think it was, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I was just like, I don't even remember the scene. That's how insignificant it was to me, I guess.
Yeah. Because it was that dumb. It was that dumb. It was like during those seasons where like, they were trying to get their lives together, because it was right after Robin came into the family and Kody and Robin realized they were long lost twin flame soulmates and started ignoring everybody else in the family. And the whole family's like, what's wrong with our family? And nobody called it like it was.
Right.
And so they were trying to fix their family.
Speaking of twin flame soulmates, great documentary. We should probably discuss that.
Oh my God. We have so much more recording to do on that, on so many more. We'll tease all that.
There's a Black Friday special for HBO Max. Or whatever, Max, it's not HBO anymore. $2.99 a month with ads for 6 months. So I bought it. So yeah.
Nice. That's where all this stuff is, Sister Wives.
Mm-hmm. So Robin asks Isabel if she's going to church with Maddie and Caleb. She said she went once. And then Kody says that I could see why she didn't want to go. I'd be embarrassed. Like, she's probably embarrassed to show her head at church because of the struggles and shame his family has. And so he also says that him, Robin, and the kids have not gone to church in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
But
they haven't been religious since freaking Utah.
They worship Kody.
Yeah.
He's the head of the household.
And when they stopped worshiping him, he, decided to go with the one who does. Oh,
he lost his followers.
Woo.
Yeah. And then we see a flashback of Robin talking about purity for your husband, and I got nauseous, and then I didn't even type anymore.
Purity for your husband. Yeah, they all have the purity rings and ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Producers asked Kody if he's heard from Maddie, and he said he doesn't know what happened, but during the breakup with Christine, Maddie quit reaching out to him.
What happened?
Right.
Kody, I don't know what happened to my adult children who don't like me.
Right. And Janelle was like, she stopped calling Kody because of his behavior, and that Maddie has to consider her children and what they perceive as like a good grandfather. I'm like, ouch. Okay. Yep. Speaking truths.
What kind of relationship she wants to have in her kids' lives. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So wait. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then we see Janelle describing the date that her and Kody had for her birthday, and but that she hadn't gone out with him since then. That was about a month ago. And she said she doesn't think he thinks about her and doesn't care.
Mariposa reservations. He hasn't been able to get another reservation since.
Exactly. And Janelle said that there's no connection between them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we see Gabriel and Janelle planting stuff in the garden, and we find out Gwen's not moving into Gabe's house anymore.
Smartened up.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, nah, I don't think this is the place that I want to live.
Right. And then Kody starts talking about Gabriel and the relationship, and he said that he told the boys, when you graduate high school, the relationship shifts. And I'm like, okay, like, I get that, but at the same time, like, that doesn't mean you just stop talking to them.
Yeah, disown your adult children. Like, I rant about this every single fucking time, especially right now when it's Thanksgiving and my adult child is home. Children, because his girlfriend's like part of our family too.
Mhm.
You know, the adult children are home. Like, and guess what? Like, I talk to them and I ask them questions and I engage with them because I care about them and I love them and I want to know what's going on in their lives.
Of course. And
They
Janelle
don't need
says,
to ask me about my life. Okay. Like, it's, you know, it's not about me.
yeah,
Not
your
about you.
unconditional love
Yeah,
will transcend anything.
right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah. And
know?
Janelle says Kody says he's getting exactly what he puts into the relationship, which is obviously zero.
Right.
And
Right.
Janelle says which I thought was interesting. Janelle said the last time she had talked to Meri or Robin was that crazy porch conversation almost a year ago, and they flashed back to that, and I was like, it still irks me with the way Kody was screaming at Janelle for no reason. And then she walks off, and that was the first time we had ever seen her like just walk off. And then of course later on she says fuck you to him, which was great. But
We see the
it's
real Janelle coming out.
it's good to see, her progressing and just changing and standing up for herself. And Janelle describes the dynamics between Robin and her, and they said that throughout the years her and Robin were good team players, but they never connected on a friend level. Her kids were younger than hers, and Robin is 10 years younger than Janelle. And
Different
that
life
Meri,
points, yeah.
what was that?
Different life points.
Right. And that Meri and her just always had personality differences, so she never sought her out.
AKA Mary's bitch.
Meri
She's
is a huge bitch.
She's just, her personality is just like, she has moments of not being bitchy, but I think her baseline is just a bitch.
And you know what really intrigues me is that if you're going to act like that on camera, if that's your best behavior when you've got a camera crew around, what are you like when people aren't around?
That's what they say about Kody too.
Right. I mean, Kody had to put on a good facade for a long time though. Sort of. Like the first couple seasons he was able to really like be happy and then of course it all came out.
Yeah.
But Meri was just a bitch from the beginning. Like just not a nice person.
Always a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. So Janelle says she still has family with Christine and they're still interacting. So obviously her and Christine are friends and whatever. And then she goes on to talk about her dreams of paying off Coyote Pass and putting in a greenhouse and yada yada. So then we see Truly wanting a bike for her birthday and her disastrous attempt to try to ride it 4 years earlier with Kody.
Cody yelled at her. Yeah.
Yeah, he said there's no crying in baseball, and Truly's crying, saying this isn't baseball. I'm not laughing at Truly in that interaction. I'm laughing at the fact that Cody's such a fucking idiot.
Inability to read his children. Like he doesn't, I get it. Like we all, I mean, yeah. No one's a perfect parent and how this stuff is handled, but I feel like, I mean, I don't know, it's just indicative of Kody trying to force his way on her and her not buying into it. She was like, no, I'm not going to learn this way. I think that was the bigger takeaway for me on it. It's not a parenting knock on anything about it, but it's just like him. And he talks about this in a later episode, trying to fit square pegs in round holes or whatever.
Right. And, at least Truly was like surrounded by family and support. And Christine said that this is the support system she has in Utah. And that's what she wanted for her. She wouldn't have that in Flagstaff. Right.
She's in Utah with all of her kids, some of her kids nearby and the grandkids, like everybody's, Tony Mykelti are like 20 minutes away. Like she's got everybody. And then like Mitch and Aspen. And I guess Mitch is the Truly whisperer when it comes to the bike riding, right? Like, and just like her being able to have all of that around her, that's what she wanted. And she's getting it. Girl fucking went after it and she's got it,
Right. Well, then we see Meri again. Saying that early on she had doubts when she married Kody, and it sounded to me more like a fear of abandonment because she kept asking Kody like, will you always love me, yada yada yada, and they were young, right? They were really young.
Yeah.
And he promised her, I'll always love you, I'll always be there for you. So she interpreted that as, well, the commitment actually means something.
Yeah.
And then later on, we find out
this eternity commitment or whatever.
Right. We find out when the cameras are off that Meri said Kody told her, I never loved you, and I was trying to affirm it. But Meri goes on to say anyone who saw their relationship years ago would say that's a bunch of crap and that he's just justifying how he feels now. But I think it goes back to what you mentioned about he probably did love Meri, but he didn't really know what love was until he met Robin.
Right. Right. Like his version of love. And they show this with the other wives, like Janelle and Christine being like, yeah, like the relationship and love that he had with Meri is part of what our attraction was, right? Like you don't want to join a family where the guy's not taking care of his his wives, and that they very clearly were in love, right? But
definitely.
But yeah, as we started, hypothesizing a couple seasons ago that like, no, when he met Robin, that was
it.
That was, he loved Robin in a way that he didn't love the other ones. And now it's like his eyes were open, like, oh, okay. And that's when everything changed. And the Christine and Janelle realized that. They're very clear about that. They're like, yeah, something changed there. And he found his person and that's it,
Definitely. And Kody goes on to then tell Meri she can stick around and
she can
come visit Robin and the kids if she wants to do that.
If she wants.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds so exciting.
So inviting. Wouldn't you want to go do that?
Yeah. Well, and what really pisses me off is Meri asks Kody, why can't we discuss this and be open and honest about our story? To which he replies, I don't want to do that. I already have so much criticism. Let's just keep this between us. And that pissed me off. But then Meri sat there during her interview and said, this is my story too, and I have the right to tell my story. I was like, amen, finally, or whatever.
Well, yeah, we get there. We get there. You haven't gotten there yet. I don't think you've gotten to see episodes of 13 and 14. You're going to go do that after.
I did see them, but I haven't taken notes on them. So it's just kind of like,
got it.
In passing when I was in between bathroom breaks. So Meri says, I have two options, continue to live like I've been living, or I can terminate it. And I have no idea what I'm going to do about it. I'm like, he's pretty much told you what you need to do about it. And that was the end of the episode.
And we're going to take a quick break, come back with episode 12. No, 13. No, 12.
12.
All righty. And now we're on episode 12. What's this episode?
Can't see the forest, which makes me laugh because we'll come to find out Meri and her bitchy self, right? It's too. I love the trees. The sun's their sun's making it dark in the house.
I want the pond. I want the mountains. I want to be in the trees.
I want the bar. I don't want the sliding glass door. I want this.
I do have to appreciate this episode for the flashback to the Vegas scenes where because she didn't want that goddamn sliding glass door. In order to get the French doors, she had to get the wet bar and she had to get all these other additions too, which she didn't need more bedrooms. She just wanted all this other big fancy, all the wives get equal shit.
Right.
Such a good flashback. Remember?
Okay. Yes. All right. Well, the episode starts off with Christine having a 1950s themed birthday for her 50th birthday.
So fun.
Yeah. They had a food truck and soda and milkshakes. They all were dressed up, looking absolutely adorable.
So fun. I would totally let's plan this for my 50th birthday.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Well, you have to plan it because I'm not so good at that thing.
Did you see Janelle's sister though?
Which one was Janelle's sister?
The one who looked exactly like Janelle, just like smaller. I was like, oh my God. At first I did a double take. I didn't have my glasses on when I was watching this. And I was like, was that Janelle? Did she lose weight? And I'm not saying she's fat or anything. I'm just saying I had to do a double take. And then I looked, I was like, oh my God, that is Janelle's sister. And she looks exactly like her. And then I looked it up on social media and literally you have to look it up. They look like twins.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's crazy. But anyways, everyone was dressed up. So adorable. And Christine says that she's been single and that she's dating a bit, which we all know what happens with that. But
yeah, she's married.
Yeah. Janelle says Kody wasn't able to give Christine companionship and a partnership. And when they're talking about dating, Then Christine's talking about with Mykelti about the twins and with production. She's saying that Mykelti is having fraternal twins. They're not identical, and that they're going to have 3 kids under the age of 2. And that's when Tony goes on to talk about, well, the doctor said you shouldn't be.
Oh, this is the
yeah.
You get pregnant when you're breastfeeding. I don't think that's what the doctor actually said, but if that's Tony's interpretation and retelling of the situation.
Yeah, and then the doctor said, how did you manage to do that? And Tony was like, we just had sex. And Christine said, way to go, guys. Way to excel. And like, awkward conversation with your mom, but whatever.
Yeah. Which I can say, like, having a child that's having sexual relations, like, you know, as an adult child, like, once I got past the initial, like, okay, my child is, you know, becoming an adult and going to be having sexual relations. Like, once I got past that part, it was like, okay, it's fine. Like,
yeah,
like there's a shift that happens, and it's like, yeah, I know my kid's having sex. Like, it's fine, you know.
Right. Right. I've always been open with my parents to a degree, for sure. And we talk about the twins again, and you know, Kody has twin nieces, and Christine's dad has brothers that are twins. So Kody not only didn't know about Christine's dad's brothers being twins, or
he doesn't know about his own kids, much less the extended family.
Much less to the wives he doesn't care about. Yeah.
Right. To the families of the wives he doesn't care about.
Right.
I.e. anyone not named Robin.
Yeah. And Mykelti reveals that she told Kody and Robin first because she needed help, and Robin had a lot of morning sickness and her mom didn't. And that's when we already mentioned, Robin said, I feel honored that she felt safe.
She felt safe enough to tell me. Robin, it's not about you, okay?
I know.
It's not what Mykelti needed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take that as some kind of honor on you, like, I get parental pride type of thing, you know? Everybody loved the turkey I made yesterday. Okay, great. There's pride in that, you know? Nurture a relationship with Mykelti enough that she wants to come to you for advice on things. That's great. That's great that she has that with you. It's not about you, Robin. It's about Mykelti.
And I feel like the responses between Robin and Christine were just so different, because when I guess production asked Christine how she felt, producers, about, you know, Mykelti telling Robin and Kody first, she said there are things that she's going to tell them first, and that's okay. It doesn't matter how she feels about Robin and Kody, that she'll always have a relationship with them. And I just feel like it was so classy and just like above everything. She said it was about her. It's about Mykelti, you know?
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, the guests are arriving. We see Christine's mom. And it just, everyone looks like they're having a blast.
Yeah. So much fun.
So, yeah. Then this deep conversation happens where Christine was talking about polygamy being decriminalized in Utah and how she wanted to move back home, and maybe things would have been a little bit different had that happened. Kody said it wouldn't have made a difference on where they lived, on what happened between the family. And Robin said that maybe if they did or didn't move, if they, you know, she wonders if they would still be together. But Janelle said Kody's preference for Robin became more noticeable, and she thinks it wouldn't matter where they had lived. So I agree with Janelle.
100% agree with Janelle on this. Janelle, and she does this through all these episodes. She has this way of like boiling it all of the Kody whatever stuff down to like these very concise sound bites that are just so articulate as hell. And it's like, yes, girl, yes, that's it. You summed it all up.
Mm-hmm. Mykelti announces to everyone that she is pregnant with twins, and Janelle starts crying. And I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever seen Janelle cry on the show. Maybe I have, and I just don't remember.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really special.
Tears of joy, yeah. It shows you how close they all are.
I know.
And continue to be. Yeah.
And Mykelti says Janelle's going to be a grandmother, just like her mom. And Christine mentions why some people weren't invited to her 50th birthday because it wasn't a place for a reunion. I'm like, no shit. Meri, Robin,
Meri, Kody.
Right.
Robin's kids, because Robin's always trying to use her kids to make it, oh, the kids should be there with their cousins. No, you didn't get invited because you're a bitch.
Yeah. So Janelle said it was an easy party to go to. No politics. No one was late. Everyone got along. It was just easy.
Nice and easy. That's how,
Mhm.
you know.
Yep. And then we're back to good old Meri talking about her clothing business
Oh God.
and how she said when she told Kody he didn't care.
No.
I'm like, no shit. Her friend Blair came over to show her plans for the carriage house renovation, and he's an interior designer that she met online 4 or 5 years ago.
So
Yeah.
this is where I insert my like, okay, so the fact that Meri is renovating this carriage house and she's getting to do this design and she's doing it her own way and all this stuff, and then like it's for her clothing business, like conceptually, I love this idea, right? Like she gets to like do this whole thing. But the underlying thing that you can't get away from, the elephant in the room, is that it's her fucking LuLaRoe, which is not a goddamn business. It's a fucking cult. Okay. LuLaRoe is a fucking cult, and it's a multi-level marketing. None of it's designed to suck you from, like, separate you from your money. Nobody succeeds. It's a whole thing. Go listen to Roberta Blevins' Life After MLM. Swear to God, is so good especially on this topic. She was a former LuLaRoe rep herself. So yeah.
Katrina, my memory is so terrible. Did we do an episode on? We did do an episode on one of the documentaries. I couldn't remember if we did an episode on it or we were talking about doing an episode on it.
We did a series of episodes on the LuLaRoe documentaries.
Oh my God, that's how bad my memory is.
The one on Amazon and one was on Discovery, right? And we had a show with Roberta and oh God, I'm blanking on her name. Decades Rock and Pop is her handle, but she was in one.
Oh wait, was this before me?
No, this was like I think right when you came on. I think I don't remember if you were on it. Oh, anyway, we did a series of them. It was anyway. But
Yeah.
go listen to her Life After MLM because LuLaRoe is not a business; it's a cult.
Mm-hmm.
And if Meri was doing this with an actual legitimate business, I'd be much happier. But and she sells that. And then for all that I love Christine and Janelle, they also sell MLM stuff. So it drives me crazy because it's not real. Anyway.
Well, I'm just having flashbacks of Meri on her Instagram lives, like kicking people off. Like, well, now you're blocked.
People for asking prices on her ugly clothes.
And she's just like so mean. I'm like, how is this woman selling anything? And she's just like yelling at people asking questions. Oh, yeah. Somebody has to find that there. It's like a TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Well, Meri said she has to be careful about meeting people online after being catfished, but that the story
was catfished. What?
Right. The story was blown out of proportion, and she has a hard time talking about it, but she knows her truth. Yeah. So one of the prerequisites of her doing business with anyone is having a video chat with them. And I'm like, that should be anyone's I mean, I feel like you should establish some sort of relationship if you're going to, anyways, whatever.
There's a reason why Catfish is still a TV show, though, because people still don't.
Exactly. So we see the little carriage house and Meri saying, I'm going to keep wanting to call it an outhouse.
Just call what it is, an outhouse.
An outhouse. Meri said her business is mostly online, but she wants to bring people over. So she needs a fitting room. So her friend Jen arrives and, whatever. Robin says she knows Jen from Vegas and that I wish my and Meri's relationship could be more light, like her and Jen's. I'm not jealous, but I just want more too.
Well, then don't be such a bitch, Robin.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about that end of that scene. And then we see Janelle's new apartment.
Love it.
Yeah. But Kody wants to come over and see it. And Janelle says again, if he wanted to get back with her, if he was dying to get back with her, he would have called a counselor. He would have communicated better. Mm-hmm. To which Kody says, in his interview, I've been trying to communicate and maybe I'm being shy because she keeps saying she doesn't want to reconcile. Or maybe I'm being the way I am because I'm kind of happy about her not wanting to reconcile. And I personally think it's the latter.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, well, Jody says Kody is making an effort with Savannah. Thank God, Kody, you're doing something in the right direction.
Fine, I guess.
I know, right? Cody's just so weird. Like, he's like, Savannah, do you like this better than the last place? Do you like it better than the RV? Motherfucker, she's got 2 bathrooms with like what is it, 1,200 square foot space? Like, of course she likes it better than the RV, you dumbass. Oh, your mic's off. Your mic's off.
There were some good editing cut scenes here. The editors were doing a remarkable job, which I'm living for. I just don't feel like I'm welcome here. Yep. Something like that, just the way that cut together. I love you, editors.
Well, he's like, yeah, why do I care about a deep sink? It's not like I'm gonna do the dishes in them.
Oh, you could have just ended that sentence with do the dishes, because you're not going to do them anywhere. You're not going to do the dishes no matter where you're at, right? Like,
right.
You know, you're not washing dishes over at Robin's house, it's probably what the nanny's doing.
Exactly. And I feel like Kody is just so cynical. And anytime he talks about the women, and he's like, maybe this was just a test to come over and hang pictures, because I guess she asked him to hang pictures. He's like, I've been married to 4 women. Everything is a test. Pick me, do something for me. That's what plural marriage can feel like sometimes. Well, if you're not giving the other wives attention because you're spending all your time with one of them, of course there's going to be a pick me vibe, or like, also, hello, give me attention.
Like, you're in love, you're in a partnership. You should want to be, pick your partner to pick you every day. That's the whole point of a partnership, right? Like,
yes.
And if you're choosing to be married to multiple women, you have to be prepared to give that to all of them. It's some kind of test to see no, it's not a test. If you view some shit in your relationship as a test, y'all, that is a red flag.
I think he's projecting.
Oh,
like he's 100%
projecting.
Oh, God. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know why she's showing me the apartment other than, well, our daughter lives there. Like, yeah.
And her comment, Janelle's comment, oh, and it's dog friendly. The unsaid is, you are not dog friendly, because she gets to have the dogs there and the dog's in bed and he doesn't like the dogs, and Robin likes dogs.
Well, then we're back to the scene with the outhouse and Meri, Blair, and Jen. Meri saying she doesn't like white, Jen saying she wants pink sparkle. And Meri, and during her interview, was like, oh my God, I hate pink. But then I'm wearing a pink shirt during this interview.
Is this when she goes on a rampage about the
circles?
Circles are dumb. They're so stupid. Circles are dumb. No more wiring. Like, legit crazy with that. Circles are dumb. I get that we live on an earth. Okay, that's not a circle, it's a sphere, but whatever. Meri, you're dumb.
If one of my friends ever talked to me like that, I would not put up with that. I think she's so disrespectful.
That's the bitch.
She's a bitch.
Yes.
Do you notice all the friends that we've seen her meet have been online and not like real life friends? Whereas like Christine never was like, these are my friends I met online. Like, I feel like Meri's like, oh yeah, I met this person, which is fine. Like, it's fine. But I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
I just wonder if
COVID and blah, 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 blah. But she met the catfish, right?
Right. Well,
and
yeah.
The catfish was the whole part of the issue, was that they were pretending to be a male. It was actually a woman, right? So she's so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Which I really like to think in my imaginary universe that Meri and Jen and Jen's husband are all boning together at night. But
maybe it'll come out and you'll be right.
We see Meri in these next couple of episodes, 13 and 14, we see her glowing and happy in a way that when she's with them that we don't ever see in Flagstaff. And, so I like to pretend that because she's getting laid, but
Yeah, could be. At least she admits to being a control freak. She has one thing she admits to.
Yeah. And then when we get the flashback, right, to their moving into the Vegas houses or whatever, and she's like, but I will not have a sliding glass door, therefore, because I remember that whole scene, right?
That was a big part of that. I remember her going off. Yeah.
Because because she didn't want a sliding glass door, in order to get the package that had the French door, she also had to get this extra bump out and this and this, and it added this huge amount on, which, I mean, gift, if you want to get what you want, got, but it seemed excessive for just like that. Like,
Yeah.
Like, really, do you have the money to be spending on that? Or can you deal with a sliding glass door? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like let's compare and cost ratio and benefit analysis here, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we then see Janelle talking about how she has house plans drawn up for a 1,200 square foot house on Coyote Pass that she eventually wants to build. And the
A little
apartment is actually
casita.
bigger than that. Yeah.
A little casita.
Yeah. And Janelle and Cody's has his opinions about it, and Janelle doesn't understand why he's using terms like we, because he's not putting any money towards it. And Kody makes a point of, why would you build a 1,200 square foot house on 2 acres? Like, what's the point? But I just have opinions. And Janelle says, we still have to pay off the land. I mean, it doesn't really, like, can't do anything until we have the land.
Right. And they have to pay it off this year or they lose it.
Yeah. And Janelle says that she still is considering building on the land, even though, she's not really with Kody anymore.
Yeah.
And that she could always put up a really high fence so she won't have to interact with them.
Which is an interesting point to me, because it's like, I guess in my head, I just assumed she was going to do what Christine did, right? Which is sort of just like do this horse trade and get out of the property altogether, her share. Oh, I got to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. That she was going to somehow get her equity out and not participate. If she's getting out of the family, why would she still be there? She, to get her equity and leave. But this is the conversation where she's like, there's contemplated this. She's going to leave the family, but not get out her equity out of the land, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the very anger-inducing episode 14 that we're going to get to with the divvying up of the land property.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
An interesting conversation happens about, when Kody, Janelle, and Savannah are all in the kitchen, they kind of like stand there in silence, in awkward silence. And Kody says that he doesn't really have anything to talk to them about because his whole life is consumed by Robin and their kids. And he doesn't ever want to talk about another wife and family with whatever wife he's with. But because Robin and her kids consume his life, that he just doesn't have anything else to talk about. And I'm like, you piece of shit. Don't you want to, I don't know, ask them how they're doing? Or I don't know.
I call shenanigans on all of this, by the way, because
100%.
There's no way on God's green earth that when Cody's hanging out with Christine, he's not mentioning Janelle's kids, or in the past.
Definitely.
There's absolutely no way on God's green earth that doesn't happen, right?
Yes.
I mean, sure, I wouldn't think Cody's going to go to Christine and be like, hey, I just boned Janelle last night, my friends with benefits, and it was really fucking good. Like, I got to be on top and missionary style, and I even turned the lights on. Like, I don't know, like, right? The Robin in the sex swing, in the red leather couches or something.
Oh God.
I don't know that's going to be happening, but I suspect that there's at least talking of other families, right? And so now he's saying like, oh, I don't have anything in common with my kid. Well, yeah, that shows the indication of how awful you are, because you have no relationship with them. Ask them questions. Do you want to learn about their life? I'm at, I spent all Thanksgiving yesterday grilling the kids about what their daily lives are like.
Right. You want to know.
My kid's telling me down to I get up at 4:50 in the morning, and from 4:50 to 5 o'clock, I, is get ready. Like, he's telling me down to the minutes, basically, how his day is structured. I want to hear all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you love him and you care about him and you want to know what goes on.
His life in college as a, cadet and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Janelle goes on to say Kody has never come to her and said, I love you and miss you. I want to get back together. But instead, he has come to her and makes comments about, like, why don't you want to get the family back together? And he says those things because he wants his life to run smoother. It's all about him.
Yep. If these pesky wives would have just cooperated and come to his house, him and Robin's house, and just cooperated with that plan, and things would be so much easier for Kody.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm gonna ask her again next week if we might be able to reconcile. Maybe I should get more serious about it. Are you stupid?
Like, it's on your to-do list to ask your wife to reconcile next week. What?
If you loved and cared for somebody, that would be a priority.
That's not
period.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
And Janelle sees right through it. She knows. She knows.
Well, then we get to the tree scene. So Meri is driving to her B&B because big trees are being taken down that have to be taken down. And
yeah, the root structures are threatening the foundation of the house.
Yeah, and then Meri goes on to tell the same story we just talked about in the last episode about their anniversary, but she's saying a few things different, but same thing.
Stretching the conversation out.
Right. And Kody, Meri reveals that Kody says, I don't want to go back to what we were. And Meri's response was, I don't want to go back to what we were. I want to move forward. You and I are different people. We don't even know who each other are. To which he responded with, I don't want to, and your life is not one I want to insert my life into. So we do learn more about what exactly was said per Meri.
We get a
we
little
don't actually
bit more.
see this, right? But like she's so delulu that like he's literally telling you, I don't want to go back to what we were.
I don't want you. I don't want to be in your life. I don't want anything to do with you except for I want your money. So let's just keep pretending.
She in desperation is like, well, yeah, I know, me neither. Let's we're different people. Like, oh my God, Meri.
I know. She's so delulu.
And then we see a different perspective. We see Christine talking about Meri and Kody's marriage and saying that they were the it couple. And he was so charming and sweet with her. And she said that's why she wanted to be with him. Like she saw how he was with his wives.
Right.
And Janelle said that if you wanted to get into a relationship, like a polygamous relationship, you always look to see how the husband treated their wives. Duh, that makes sense, right? Like, but obviously things changed and Meri doesn't know if she wants to stick around and live life like how she's been living it or terminate it. And he's made it very clear. I want to spend
eternity with somebody who doesn't want me.
Right. She's like, he's made it clear there's no hope. So screw him. He's not worth it. And that was like the end of the episode. So yeah. Well, nothing really like super new, just the same circles of stuff.
There's a lot of filler, I think, to drag it out. But the next two are there's some stuff there is some substance coming up. So we're going to get this episode out to you, and then we'll be back and we'll cover the next couple episodes. We also have all of these other documentary stuff planned with our religious expert, Rebecca. Dr. Becca is going to come on. We've been watching all of these awesome, amazing cult documentaries with those religious cult bent. And I'm so excited to talk about all that. So we're going to get those out to you as well. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.